to find this. Or is it this? Go live. There we go. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing this evening? So we ended up shorting the basically right below the, what's up, Fish Lips? Yeah, we pretty much shorted the PM high, so we got below the PM high over here, so, and below the AM high. I gotta change the chair. For some reason this hydraulic thing's going out. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna see how long we can hold this trade. Our goal is to hold it all the way till probably 600. So I'm anticipating us to run the PM lows. The only thing is you got a bunch of mess here, so I don't know how long it'll take us to get through there. Maybe with the bump of the Tokyo session, maybe we'll get a little bump to the downside. I feel like I'm missing something, but not sure what it was. I just need to make sure. Okay, so we have the wrong page right there. I don't know why it does that sometimes. All right, that's page right. For some reason, I have the wrong page. All right, so that one looks right. And that was right. All right, for some reason, it was just that vertical screen that had to mess that page. 659, a major pib. Is that a 50% mark? Fish Lips? Like I said, still trying to get everything kind of set up here. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of volume in that area. I mean, I don't know how long it'll take us to get through there. So I feel like what's going to suck is if we got all that nice movement before the pre-market or before Tokyo, then all of a sudden we're going to be just sitting here just consolidating for the freaking next 2 hours. Hopefully that's not the case, but the last couple nights have been pretty tough. I think we started off with 3 micros with this. I want to say we're up $70 at the moment. What's up, Christian? How are you doing today? Hopefully everybody survived today. Didn't really overtrade. I feel like we did pretty good with our overtrading today. We took our one loss, put it away. Didn't do any kind of revenge trading or try to get it back or anything. We just accepted it. Because we were red on a few of our fundeds and we were green on one funded. So, other besides that one loss, it was a fairly good trading day. We just had that one loss, and that was the very first trade. Hopefully tomorrow morning, we can do a little better. Get a nice winning trade to finish off the week. Yeah, I know, man. You were killing it today, it seems like. You were like knocking it out. It almost feels like whenever you have that really good trading day, it's almost like the next day you shouldn't trade because usually the next day it's like you make a mistake. At least that's what I'll end up doing. So I had like a really good trading day Tuesday and Wednesday. So I had some fairly good trading days those couple days. So I figured I was due for a little hiccup this week, and it just happened to be today. So I was short bias because I'm not sure how if we'll be able to get through this anytime in the next couple hours. This may be one of the things that we just kind of bounce back and forth. So, I mean, there's just so much consolidation through here. And I just figure being the Asia market, it's going to take a lot. So what I shorted was the PM high. We're going to take these off so you can see them. So we shorted this. We just kind of waited for it to build a little support under it just to make sure we weren't just going to be dipping below it. So if the trade stays, but like I said, I mean, you could sit here and hold this thing all night. We're going to target the 597s. So just kind of give you an idea how far we're looking to go down. And so it may take all the way till possible London session to get down there. Or if I feel like we're going to be pulling back above the 85 where my entry's at, I will close the trade, then try to add to it. Trying to get rid of some of the stuff that I don't need on here. Dude, 5K on micros. Wow. That is just insane, dude. I need me a 5K on micros. All right. Get some music real quick. How was everybody's trading today? Did anybody blow up any of their accounts or just had a dreadful trading day? For some reason. All right. There we go. So if you full fib on this leg, I'll kind of show you about how far we're looking for it to pull back. So you're hoping it doesn't kind of break back above the 50%. So you kind of want to see it hold up here at the 80s. That way we can continue pushing down. Just keep making lower highs until maybe we may get a drop here. Hopefully it doesn't have to make a higher high, then kind of do one of those deals where it keeps making higher lows and it just finally has to have like a bigger pullback, then it would push back above your previous highs to make it. Dude, nice passing your first eval last night. And passing it in the if you passed it in the Asia market. Anthony, who did you pass your account with? What prop firm? Alpha Futures? Okay, nice. I've never used Alpha. I mean, I've heard of them. I think I signed up for them, but I haven't trading an account with them. I got too many other accounts. I have 8 different accounts. So I'm kind of stuck where I'm at right now. Oh no, fish lips, don't. No, don't fade me. Darn you. I want to say he did, but I don't know if he's streaming tonight though. Oh, so you're trading. Oh, you were trading gold. Okay. See, I never done the gold or silver. I have been seeing a lot of like people on TikTok and YouTube be all excited about the gold and silver, but I know it can wreck your account pretty quick. Now, did you pass that eval trading it straight up, or did you do like a full port or something, or was it like a kind of a slow grind? You worked on your strategy and passed it. Yeah, that gold and silver, man, that stuff will mess up your accounts pretty quick. Especially if you're in kind of heavy on those accounts. Because I know just one mini of gold is like 100 points. Silver, I think, is 50. So, and man, when those things are just trucking and moving, man, you'll get messed up quick. Man, this is pretty crappy. We had this nice move right here at the open. Let me mark out the open so I can see it here. So this was the opening candle here. Around that 715. Then my low break was at 700. So I waited for us to kind of get below the 700s. And okay, so you went in heavy and just scaled out. Nice. I usually don't go in heavy too much. What's up, DB? How are you doing tonight? Yeah, we've been short for a little while, Alan. We shorted below the PM high and the New York lunchtime high up there around the 700s. We've actually probably been in this trade since 5:30. It's just been kind of just grinding slowly. We're hoping for an overall nice push down tonight. So I think it's going to take us a little while to get through this section here. I mean, I don't see us getting through it too quick. We could hit the 50, bounce up a little bit, hit the 75, or even pull all the way back up to the 700s. So if this thing gets back up to my entry, I will close it and just try to get a better entry with the pullback and see if it maybe will retest the 700. This was a nice setup too. You got a you got a high, created a kind of a new little low. Then this would have been your pullback here for if you like to trade like little bull flag, bear flag type things. So draw you a little trend line here. Then once this breaks of that trend line, get short. Or you can pull fib on it. I think this was just like a 20% pullback, if I'm not mistaken. And usually anything under 20 and 30% means that the trend is very strong and we're going to continue down. So we really never did pull back into discount. So that just means we got a strong trend, downtrend, because we never got back into the 50, 60, or 70% of this leg. And hopefully this will continue the rest of the evening. Like I said, the only thing that worries me, I know how sometimes in the Asia market, yeah, if it moves back up to those 95s fish lips, we're going to close this trade and see if we can get a better entry and see if we can short off of that 700 level up there. Because as long as it stay under 700s, I'm gonna be short bias all the way. The only way I would consider longs if we get back above the 700. I don't really know a lot about what's going on with the crypto. Come on. I hate when these pages open like that. Yeah. Hustle, I'm not really sure, or as far as crypto. I don't really ever trade any crypto. I want to say, I'm trying to think. There was a guy in our lobby last night. I kind of went blank on his name, but I know he was kind of big into crypto because I went to his page and he had a lot of crypto on his page. I would think he would probably be here in this lobby in a little bit later on, maybe. They have a tariff ruling tomorrow. What is the tariff ruling? Does that mean like to say they're not allowed to do tariff rulings or what? I guess I'm not aware of any of that stuff. DB. Yeah, see, I didn't even know that there was a thing in the Supreme Courts with the tariffs. Yeah, like I said, the only thing about this is that the Asia market could literally just stay right into like a 20, 30 point range. We've had that the last couple nights. I think we had that 2 straight nights in a row where we stayed in a super tight range in the Asia market, and you didn't really start getting the move till like 10 o'clock in the evening. So it made it for some really dreadful trading. To me, this is probably the most trading or movement that I've seen within the first 2 hours all week long. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I wasn't aware of that either. I'm bad about not like following news, man. I think I spent so much time looking at trading charts. Like lately, it just seems like my days is I trade in the morning, kind of work in the middle of the day, and trade in the evening. So that's kind of all I've done for the last couple months. I haven't been streaming the what do you want to call it? I haven't been streaming the Tokyo Consistence. A lot of times I'm just on the cell phone with Methodical Man and we're just trying to find like $50 and $60 winners most of the time. Usually that's our Asia market there. So just to see if we can find us a little $50, $60 winner. Whew. About to have 35 points locked in. Man, I don't want this thing to end up coming back and just, because we're already over $100, and that's pretty good in the Asia market. If you can make $100 with like one or two micros in the Asia market, we will take it. Oh goodness. The only thing that worries me here that we're probably going to bounce off of the 50 level. Let's see. There's just too many wicks sitting there at the 47s. I mean, you got about 3 or 4 or 5 candles right here. So more likely you're going to get a nice bounce right here. What's up, Anthony? Oh yeah, as soon as we got below that PM low, like that PM high, like man, if we can't get back above that, it's going to be going down all night. And we're going to try to target the lows of this PM session. Like, we want to target this down here and see if we can get all the way down. I'm probably just going to put it at like 615, right below all this mess here. If it gets down there, I think it's going to take a little bit to get through this. What? No, I struggle to fund my own accounts. I don't know. I don't make that kind of money yet to be funding accounts. I'm on a budget like everybody else here. Well, not everybody, but most people. You're in Kenya? Hopefully my TikTok thing didn't go out. Saying it was having some issues connecting. All right, so there's that 47 bounce. I mean, it was pretty obvious that we're going to get some kind of reaction at that level. I mean, how can we not get any kind of reaction when you got this many wicks in this area? I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got about 8 or 9 wicks. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm not sure what happened with the internet connection. It says that it glitched out or something. That was just a message that popped up across like TikTok. I mean, I don't think I have any internet issues. I mean, I have like super fast internet because I have like, I use a Gigablast internet. And also I use a lot of RAM. I think I have like 64 gigs of RAM. So we have lots of RAM because I think that's what you need to run all these pages. Because I'm running like 3 or 4 different chats right now. And I think that's what does it because I got OSB streaming like vertical on YouTube, and I got Streamlabs that's streaming horizontal on Streamlabs. Then on TikTok, I do horizontal and vertical. What? Look at the 47 giving up the booty. I was thinking we were going to get a little better bounce than that, man. Come on. All right, never mind. I talked too soon. Ooh, I almost want to start taking profit, guys, because I usually don't ever make this much in the Asia market on these little small accounts. Most of my profits always like $60, $40, $50. It's always in that range on these small accounts because I trade super small. So it's very rare. I've only made like $100+ a few times in the Tokyo session. See, we could get a really big bounce off this 25. So that's the only thing that worries me there. If we get stopped at 25, we could easily retrace and go all the way back to the 75s. And I'd rather just take profits and maybe re-enter like another contract if we do push all the way back up there. So we're going to at least lock in 30 points. See what happens here at the 25s. There's a lot in that 25 level too, guys. I mean, I thought we were going to get more resistant over here around the 47s, but we also still have a lot here. Where did you enter at, Anthony? I'm not really sure. We've been short since 80s. It really, because I'm not sure what's going to happen at this PM low. That could be a possible bounce area down at the 600. The PM low for the New York session is at 595. Oh yeah, that was a nice little entry area too with that nice little pullback there. I'm looking for what? Actually, I think I'm going to do 15 instead of, because a lot of times we'll bounce off the 12. And we could possibly have a long setup at that PM, New York PM low. So we could hit that PM low and just go through it a little bit, then literally go all the way back to the top side. Now, if we get on the bottom side of this PM low here, I will short that because we'll be outside of that PM session. Right now, we're kind of in the middle of it. And we'll just log on to our other account. Yeah, this was probably the best spot to enter up here where my entry is. Anthony probably got the second best spot, and that was right here on that pullback. And now it's just kind of in a free fall. So unless we get some kind of little pullback session like that, I'd be kind of iffy if I enter. No, I feel like that's a good entry too. I mean, that's a nice little pullback here too. Oh, let me bring up your chats, guys. I had my one chats covered up. Sorry, fish lips, or anybody else that was in the YouTube chats. Sorry, DP. Okay, so DP thinks the ES has another 10 points to go also. What's up, T King? We are trading micros on the NQ. So micros are like $2 a point. It takes 10 micros to make a mini. And so a lot of times I'll use anywhere between 2 to 5 micros. And that way you can scale in and scale out, or, you know, you can sell some off at a certain point, then leave big runners. I like trading minis because I can trade multiple contracts. I mean micros, because you can't do that on minis with these small accounts. Oh, shit. I keep messing with the wrong mouse. Sorry about that. All right, so we can pull fib on this leg and kind of get an idea about where we could possibly pull back to. And I may not be a stick for a few points and see if the 50% will hold on this pullback. I'd rather see the 20 to 30% hold. But I know we just hit that 25 level, so I know we could easily go back up to the 50 here. Nice. What was that? Almost a 50-point trade for you, Anthony? I mean, if you got short around 75, I mean, shoot, that's at least 40 points. 40 something points. That's a nice trade. I'm just glad we got some movement, Anthony. It's been tough the last few nights, man. We got a good trade last night. We held a trade all the way till London, probably heading into London last night. I actually just went to sleep and left it on because we got, like I said, we got underneath the PM low last night, and we just sold off all night till London. For anybody that held that last night. Nice. Let's see. So this is what we took last night. This is what I was talking about. If you can lose that PM low in the middle of the night, look, this was the trade that we just left running. We took 50 points out of this last night too. Nope. Yep. Nope. It was right here. I'm sorry. It was this trade right here. So we got short somewhere around the 80s. I want to say we were short in this area here. Unfortunately, it started consolidating the time we got short, but I just left it on and it ended up, like I said, selling London. So this is kind of what I was talking about. Anytime that you can lose this PM session in the nighttime, a lot of times you'll get this really good sell-off. Luckily tonight, we are actually catching it in the middle as we're going down to the lows. I'm hoping if we get down to the bottom of the PM session at the bottom of this, we continue selling and we could have another big sell-off tonight. But I don't know how long it's going to take us to get down there, though. Me, I'm targeting 615. Oh, if it pulls back up there into that 50% range. Now, the trend still will be strong if the 38% holds up here. If the 38% still holds, because you got to think, look at what right now we only have been pulling back 30% of each leg. So this leg, oh, no, that leg did go back 50%. Oh, nope. Never mind. It was this one that went back to 40% or 28, whatever, 30%. I still think that possible that 597 600 is going to be a really nice bounce. I'm definitely going to try to take that bounce if we get down there. What's up, Kenny? How are you doing? Thank you, good sir. Sorry if I overlook my chat sometimes. I don't do it on purpose. Sometimes I get so like focused staring at charts and I forget to look at my chat. I don't mean to do that. Jimmy, we are trading the micro MQs. So we're trading on micros. I'm trading a small Pedeas account. So like I only start off at like $500 in drawdown. And I have two different ones that we're trading on. Right now I'm up 770 in this one. And the second one, we are up 868. So after the one that I just showed you, we're done trading. We're going to switch over to this one to see if we can maybe find another trade in this one tonight. Then usually the New York session is usually where I trade my funded accounts. So like we were red on our funded accounts today. We were red on like 3 of them because we copy traded across it. So we basically just took one red trade. I think it was like a 20-point loss or something because we were trading 2 micros. And then we took another nice trade on a funded where I think we made 70 or 80 bucks on it with a few micros. So it was kind of like a 50-50 day. But every day can't be green. You just got to kind of manage it without taking those bad red days where you... The one thing I'm trying to get used to is if I have a failed trade, just don't trade them anymore. Just put them away for the day. Come back tomorrow fresh. Because that's usually what I've messed up in the past is I have a hard time living with that red day. Then you try to get it back in one trade. And next thing you know, you don't have 2 losses. And then your losses are bigger. Then you end up blowing your account because you get frustrated. So if you do that, it's okay. We all go through it. Dude, I'm 15 points away. Dude, King, this is actually the best movement that we had all week long within the first 3 hours of the market. It may be chopping sideways, but man, the last 2 nights, you're talking about chopping lateral. Like it's just moving lateral. It's not even chopping in a direction. It's just been just straight across. And I'm talking about it did the same spot for like 2 straight nights before it sold off. Like it was horrible. Like 30. Oh, today was choppy. Okay. I was only on the market for like maybe 2 hours this morning, so I wasn't sure what the rest of the day did. Usually I'm looking for that very first trade early in the morning at 9:30. Then after that, I kind of want to be done. If anything, I'll just trade like micros the rest of the morning. Not micros, but trade my evals the rest of the morning. So I think we've only taken 2 trades this week in the PM session. One day was a winner, one day was a loser, and I didn't get to trade Monday because I had to take the dog to the vet. Are you anybody else here in the lobby trading the NQ or anybody trading minis? Or is most of you guys on micros? Yeah, I haven't done minis in forever. Most of the times, yeah, you trade micros. Micros. It is definitely the safer the way to go if you're trading anything less than one of those 50Ks. Because, I mean, you can save 50K, but at the end of the day, it's only, what, $2,500 of drawdown? And the 25Ks are usually 1,500. So a mini will wreck that quick. There's a guy in the YouTube chat, Fish Lips. He's usually in the lobbies most day. He said he had his best day. He made like 5K today. He killed it on micros today. And this is just trading 1-2 micros. He was just destroying it today. Do you got another ad sitting at the 25 Fish Lips? Yeah, I know. It was insane. Eventually, I've been wanting to like try what he does. I use it, but I don't really trade it like that way. Like I do take trades around those whole numbers a lot, what he does, but I haven't got to the point where I'm actually trading it consistently. Oh, you're long and short. Wait, are you fading yourself, Fish Lips? It's like, oh, goodness. Now, I am going to be looking for a trade possibly off of that 600 level, Fish Lips. That 597 to get ran. I don't think we break through that right away. I think we'll have a big, nice, possibly at least 10 to 20 point rebalance off of that level. We have been in a sell order probably since 6:30. So we've been in this trade for about an hour and 10 minutes. So we've been short since 85. So since this little pullback here, we've been short, and that was around 6:30. So about an hour and 10 minutes that we've been sitting in this trade. You could have got the second entry here at the 75.80s. That was a nice little pullback too. And that one was a lot faster. That one ripped pretty good. So we're targeting the 597s, but my last contract is sitting at 615. I don't feel like battling the 610s or trying to get down to the 600s. So we're just going to shoot, because a lot of times, if we hit the 25, you push back up. If you do push back down through the 25, a lot of times you'll bounce at the 11 and 12. I mean, it could hit the 11 and 12 and literally just go straight back up. So if we hit this, 815, that will be, 70 points? 70 points? Yeah. Yep, 70 points. I think. No, it's not. That's not 70 points. That's like... Or is it? Let's see, 75, 65, 55, 45, 55, 45. Maybe. Yeah, I think that, yeah, that would be 70 points. Yeah, 70 points. So you're thinking if we get through the 597s that we could just keep free falling? Now I will short that 597s if we find a resistance under that 597s, because that's getting out of that PM low. A lot of times if we lose the PM low, we'll stay under that all night and just keep going and going and going. Kind of similar to like the night before. What's up, millionaire? How are you doing? Sorry if I missed your message. Yeah. Yeah. So micros are 1/10 of the cost. So usually a mini on the NASDAQ is $20, and micros are $2 a point. So most of the time I'm trading with like $4 to $6 a point because I'm using like most of the time 2 to 3 micros. It depending on how many points I'm looking for. If I'm on evals, I'll usually use between 2 and 5 depending on what the price action's like. But for fundeds, it's strictly 2 micros. I have one account that I've been trading a mini on a funded account though. And that's because I'm just looking for like 10-point moves. So that means I'm taking like entries off of like the previous day close, or I'm taking entries off like of whole numbers, or it has to be off like a really nice support resistant level where we hit it and bounce back out. And all my orders come in from the backside. I don't ever place orders with that account either. So I'll have the order resting and I'll pull it in behind it as it's hitting that resistance. I want it to see either the wick back up through my like take profit or wherever I have my order sitting. It's just the easier way for me to kind of control, because if I can see the wick and if I can see the wick hold, I can kind of get an idea about how big my stop loss is probably going to have to be. All right, the 50% pullback on this leg is sitting right at the 55. So it could possibly either get really, really close or we could get stopped out here. So the 50% of this leg pullback is sitting right at the 50s. So, and that's pretty normal. Like if you're playing off whole numbers, you hit the 25, you push back up to the 50, then hopefully it doesn't have to continue back up to the 75, at least not on this leg. But it's still very possible because I don't think we've been back up since we've hit that area. $20,000 week. That'd be nice. I like Take Profit Trader. That I've used them a few times, but not that often. I just know they're a little bit more money up front, and a lot of times I stay on the cheaper stuff up front. This way, if I trade bad, I don't lose a lot of money up front. You only take the 50Ks. Yeah, I usually use 50 or 25s. Right now, most of all I have 7 funded accounts, and they're all with Apex and Bulanox at the moment. So if this trend's going to stay strong, you really want it to just kind of hold up in this 47 kind of 40 area. And you got a lot of down wicks here, so it may get stopped here. We'll have to see what happens. A lot of down wicks. Right now, my take profit is sitting at around the 55 area. And that way we at least have 30 points locked in case this thing has to do like a complete reversal. No, I don't think we're getting mad money. I still have to somewhat work for a living. I still work for a living. I still get which money comes from, like, I guess multiple sources, like from my wife's hair salon, from rental. We have also rental property. We also have, I also do like YouTube affiliate stuff. Then plus I work on the side too. So it don't all like, come from trading. I think that's a lot of pressure to put on your male escort. No male escort. That's pretty funny. Oh goodness. No, I'm way out of my prime for that kind of lifestyle, fish lips. I don't even really consider myself consistent profitable. It's just sometimes better than others. I have my ups and downs, just like probably most of you guys too. That's why I don't usually try to like teach people what to do. Like I just try to just tell people what I'm doing. I would never like recommend, like I would never sit here and like say I'm gonna teach you how to trade. I would just more or less show you what I'm doing to trade, to try to get to like payouts and stuff. That way, I don't really care to be on that side of the trading journey. Like you see a lot of people are, with the selling the courses or charging people for trading sessions and all that. I don't feel like I'm at that point in my trading journey to do anything like that. Oh yes, trading. I think lately I've been trading about 3 fundeds for probably about 2 years. I want to say this is probably the most comfortable that I have been trading. Like I've finally got to the point where I don't have a lot of emotions whenever I trade my funded accounts no more. So it's just more or less what happens. I've been really trying hard to get to that because, like that's probably been one of my biggest thing with my fundeds is pretty much like to really, I want to say scared to really just put them out there and trade them like you're trading either a sim account or eval. That's why sometimes you'll feel like an eval millionaire, but then you trade your fundeds, you're like not doing that great. That's what it feels like. Or the sim account millionaire where you're like, man, I made 50,000 on the sim account with no emotions attached to it. I know everybody goes through that crap because I know I've done my fair share of that because, man, like you trade the sim account with no fears, then you'll have a little bit of fear with the eval, then eventually you get through that. It's almost like steps. You start out with the sim account, you have a little fears, but then you get good at it. Then the same thing with the evals, and then eventually it may take you a little longer to get that comfortable trading the funded accounts or your own cash. So it's definitely a process and a journey. But I gotta say, over the last couple months is probably the most where I've felt the most comfortable trading my funded accounts. Yep, same here, man. Trust me. I had a tilt month back in November. That was my last kind of like tilt moment. Yeah, the Husk 12-step program. That's what it feels like sometimes, man. Getting through all that crap. I feel like like the whole emotion money thing really just takes a toll on you. I mean, I guess if you're big enough, like trader slash affiliates, I mean, I guess you can get to the point where, you're using someone else's money to fund most of your trading lifestyle. Because I know I mean, that's where you'll start seeing a lot more traders. They'll just go through accounts like crazy. They're just recycling them. And a lot of times it's a percent. I mean, at the end of the day, you still have to take the trades, but it's like a percentage game. It's like if I buy, say, 10 accounts, I would need to pass this many to pay for those accounts and make like maybe $1,000 or $2,000 off of 10 accounts. Yeah, I'm hoping that this 50% holds here, fish lips. But I don't know if it will because we have this huge gap with nothing in here to hold this thing back up. We got one down wick right there sitting about the 55, 54s. I think one of the hardest parts that I had to find was to find something to trade on my funded accounts. Like there's a lot of stuff that I would trade on evals, but I didn't feel comfortable doing it on funded accounts. My original entry was back up there at 85 on this pullback here. This trade will still be good if the 50% holds here. We're back at the 50% of the leg. Yeah, same here. Thank you, sir. All right, if this 50% holds, we're going to try to add to this. It's pushing it. Never mind. It just wicked above it, so it looks like it's probably going to get us. There's probably not anything here to basically hold this down. I mean, this is just one big fair value gap on the 5 minute, so we may have to run all the way back up to the 70s here. We still got a minute 40 left on this candle. You're still long, fish lips? Oof. Say that again. If you sell at your trade stop, how much do you make? Uh, let's see. I think right now we're just up 120, 140 at the moment in this account. And if this 50% holds, we're going to see if we can sell back through the have another nice little pullback here. So usually I'll pull fibs on all my like legs. And so this is why we chose to where we put our stop loss at, because we were looking to hopefully to think that maybe the 50% would hold here. I mean, if it doesn't hold, it doesn't hold. It's pretty simple. It's like I pulled the fib once. It's never been the same since. Oh yeah, I pull like fib on like every single. I'll even pull it on an individual leg, like especially on the 5-minute legs. And the nighttime respects the 50% a lot. Yeah, it looks like we're about to get stopped out here, guys, with our runner. Ugh. So what we'll do is we'll get stopped out and kind of see where this may go. If this can pull back into the 75s, then we can maybe look for another short off of that. And what I'll do is, like, if we do push back up into the 75s, I'll just use the fib to take my short as it comes back into the premium. Oh. Man, I may take these off and switch accounts, actually. This way we don't mess with the profit with that one. So what we'll do is we'll leave this one. We're up 130 on the account that we got stopped out on. And we'll just kind of wait and see how far this is going to pull back on us. I can't believe that we didn't run these lows down at the 600s. Are you targeting all the way back up to the 700 fish lips, or are you just targeting 675? 675. Okay. And that'll be right. Well, that's going to be, that's going to be basically almost 100% of the whole leg. To even consider like the long bias, you would need to be all the way back above 700. I'm going to consider shorts on a new account. We're only going to probably have this. If we do get tagged in, this will be pretty much my stop loss. I'm only going to risk 13 points with 2 micros. So what is that? 40, about $50 at the most that we'll risk. We sold back into discount, so hopefully that'll be a big enough pullback to keep the lower highs with the legs for us to move back down. You said some good news for China. I know. I think China was what I guess they had said something about Nvidia. That's where that big like 90-point candle that we had the other day came from. They said they weren't going to be using the Nvidia chips. What's up, candle dealer? How are you doing? Now, I mean, there's no reason this thing still can't come back. I mean, I'll be kind of iffy if we get back up around the 60% or back up into the discount area. Might have to risk more and add. Nice on the 50 points. So we'll add if we can get up there around that 75. So for some reason we do push back up here in the 70s. And that would be about the 80% there. Back in the discount. 79 is the Asia high here. If for some reason we push back up to the Asia high here. So we did get the higher low symbol. So we're trading on a new eval now. So we're going to keep the profits that we made on that last one. And this way we don't risk the profits that we made. This way, if we end up negative, it's just on one account. And we're up 868 in this one. So plus $500. So we have about $1,300 in drawdown. Right now, we're kind of shorting in discount, but I was hoping once we got below that 50%, we would have another move. But I know that we hit the 50 and we could easily push back up to the 75 here. It may be one of those things we may have to try to DCA back in. Yes, we're shorting again. It's on a new account, though. It's on a totally different account. If you are shorting in this area, just don't over leverage. You don't want to wreck your account with one trade. I'm only trading 2 micros, so we're not in very a whole lot. So if we do take a loss, it's not like a devastating loss or anything. Oh. Man. Fish lips, are you still holding on to your runner to the 75s? Was that 63? Oh my goodness. I think you don't have a choice trading at this time of the night. You have to be patient and wait or sit through these trades. Dude, that last trade we sat through it like we were in that thing for what 6:30 to 8, so about an hour and a half. So the reason why I was pulling fib on this because we don't want this to turn into a higher low. So like if it pulls back say 50% of this leg or 60% of this leg and gets stuck, that could be an indicator that we're probably going to move back up. So that's what about fish hips? What? Oh my goodness. I feel like Fish Lips told us where he got the name Fish Lips at. I just couldn't. I know he said that before, or he's mentioned that before. Oh, very old nickname. Okay. Yeah, like I said, we really don't want to see this pull down and make a like a lower high, like a leg. So that would make me not want to stay in this trade here. So if you pull fib on this leg, and if we cannot start selling back down into like the the discount prices in this leg and just kind of blow up the bottom. Let's see. How did I not? Son of a bee. I freaking took the trade on the wrong account. Let me take that off. 39. So I won't let this trade get back above this wick here. If I feel like it's going to get back above this, I may close this because I took this on a wrong account. I guess I thought I switched accounts, but I'm still on that same account that we took the trade on a while ago, and I don't want to risk all the profits after freaking sitting in that trade for an hour and a half. Like I said, back above this area, we're just gonna close this trade, and we'll just have to re-enter because I forgot to switch my accounts. I know I switched over and looked at my account because I was like, because this was the one I was supposed to be trading, the one that we're up 868, but I guess I didn't switch it over here, so I was trading the wrong one. I'm looking for shorts on a pullback at the moment, but I know that we could possibly push back into like the 75s or even back up closer to the whole numbers again. So we'll have to see. We got some down wicks right here, so I'm hoping these down wicks will kind of save us to where it would need like a nice little 10 to 20 point pullback here. But if it pops these wicks, we'll just close our trade. This is a Ninja Trader, and we're trading on Padeas. These are Padeas prop firm accounts. I paid $8 for these accounts back in November because they're lifetime accounts, so they don't rebill monthly. That's one thing I like about them is once you pay, you pay. You can take as long as you need to pass. All right, so we're going to close this. That sucks. I didn't mean to take that trade on that son of a bee. Ah, crap. Because like I was saying, I forgot to change, which now where did it go? There it goes. And what we'll do is we'll look for either the short or long in this other account. I don't know if we'll make it back out the top. I was hoping that we would just have a pullback and continue down. But this was a nice V-shaped recovery. What pair is this? I'm not sure what you're asking. The chats. If I put a sell order, I would wait for it to kind of come back probably below the 50 or 60%. We just hit the 75. Nice on the 75 trade, fish lips. Next time we'll have to make sure we take most of our profit off there around that 25, because this is the second time that I've seen this happen today, where we've pushed down, where we've blown through like the 75, the 50, then the 25 hits, then it recovers all the way back up. So that's the second time we've seen that today. Oh, goodness. Huh. Oh, you're asking what what we're trading. If you go to your charts and if you type in MQ or MNQ86, this is the micros. I try to make it a little bit more visible while we're waiting. Oh, shoot. Let's see what that looks like on the 5-minute here. Oof. I think it's just rolling, right? Just roll it. Wow, this thing's on a tear. So you may just have to wait till you get up to the 700s to see. This is a really nice V-shaped recovery off of that 25. Thank you guys for the likes and follows tonight. All right, so we ran one leg. So what could happen here is you'll have that maybe like if you pull fib on this next leg and see if we're going to make another higher low, pull back say 50% to go like this. So could be a possible spot for a long, and it's around the 50. So you could get another 50 touch. So from 75 to 50 to back up. I know, dude. I think like I said, I think we had that same setup earlier today where it blew through the 75 to 50 and hit that freaking 25, man, and bounced back up 75 points. Because I remember that because it was the same situation. I was short leading into that freaking 25. That's the only reason why I remember that. And you were you were in the long and I was in the short. And I swear, man, it hit that 25 and just reject all the way back up. Because I lost out just the same as I did. You know what's crazy? I think I even took the points at the same spot today as we did this evening around the 55. So we left like 25 points on the table from earlier this morning. Same setup, same scenario. So next time I see the market just blowing those levels and it gets to that 25 and holds, shoot, we're just going to have to go long. What's up, man? How are you doing today, trades? Or chipper trades? Is that right? Is that how you say that? Chipper trades? Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Wow, pretty insane reversal. I wouldn't be long bias unless we got back above the 700s. If we get back above the 700s and find support, we will definitely look for a long up at the 700s. Or what we can do here is possibly look for a short, kind of do like a little backdoor short where it pushes up like wicks above 700s and sell back down, because that's going to be at your basically back to your PM high. It pretty much sold down. I think if you pull fib on that PM high, I think that's like 50% of the move that we pull back here. Let's see. Excuse me. No, we pulled pretty much back into that pot. Oh, that's what you're saying. We pulled right back into that 65 to 78% little pocket fish lips. Okay. I see what you're saying. Nicely. All right, so that would be that whole leg here. Unfortunately, this leg, since this leg didn't make it all the way down, I mean, hell, this leg could go straight back out the top. Oh, goodness. I'd make sure I'm on the right account this time. So if we take a trade, it'll be on the right account. So I had to give up some of my profit a while ago. We gave up about 30 bucks of my profit a while ago because we were on the wrong account. There's not really anything we can do here, at least not for myself. So all we can do is just kind of watch and just wait for us to push back up. Most of the times I don't hold trades very long. I'd rather just take a small loss and move on to the next trade. Because remember, guys, we're only trading a few micros. I want to say 10 points is like 40 bucks. So if you lost 10 points, it's $40 and so on. 40 bucks every 10 points. And the reason I have to trade small, I've repeated this a few times, like over the last couple nights. These were like $500 static accounts. So I only started out with $500 in drawdown. But the good thing about static, if you're able to get a little buffer, it don't follow you. You always have that $500 in drawdown plus what you make. So like I've been scalping this account, just pretty much just grinding this account, like practice. I mainly have been using these accounts just to practice in the overnight sessions. And I think over the last month, like I said, only looking usually for like 50, 60 bucks, like 868. So we're up $868. We had a few times where we made over 100 bucks, but pretty much most of the trades have been like 50, 60, 70 bucks. Because you only have to make $1,500. And hopefully whenever we get to the funded accounts with these, we're going to also trade those in the Tokyo session. The good thing about these accounts is you can take as long as you need with Padeas. They don't have that monthly renewal like you have a lot of prop firms do. So you just pay one time and it's your accounts to either you pass it or blow it. And they have the old APEC rules. So if you get to the $1,600, you can take out $1,000 and leave a $500 buffer. For anybody that's familiar with the old APEC rules. Oh, goodness. Can't stop yawning, guys. Sorry about that. I'm hoping we can find a position before we get off and kind of get a direction. This way we can just leave the trade on and pick a target to look for. So that's kind of what we did last night. Once we found a target, we hit that first 10 points, can have a kind of a break-even free trade. We basically picked a target, and I think it ended up making it somewhere right before the London session. You're looking for a long up to 87? Or you're taking a long at 87? I never long into the 90s. A lot of times you get a lot of, sometimes you'll get 90 resist. That's just what I do. I don't want to try to scare you away from your trade though. But that's just, like sometimes I mean, this is the Asia market. So I know it's not as same it is in the New York session. In the New York session, I never long into the 90. Anytime I've always done, I always get trashed on. Watch this thing go straight to the moon here. So I don't know what the reaction is like in the Tokyo session. So, like, I know in the New York session, a lot of times you can almost get 10 points of reaction off the 90. But I haven't watched it enough to know what it does in the the Asia market. What are you targeting up there, candle dealer? So you're long at 87. Are you just targeting up to like the 700s or 710s, or see how far it goes? Excuse me. All right, so let's see if we get a pullback here or if it just continues bouncing. Uh, it just takes a lot of practice, but I think it's not really about about the consistent wins. It's more about your how big your wins are. So, like, depending on what kind of strategy you're using, like if it's like a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1, you only have to win like 50% of the time to be profitable. And if you're 3-to-1, you only got to win 33% of the time. Now, if you're doing 1-for-1, excuse me, if you're doing 1-for-1, that's where you have to be a lot more consistent. If you're just taking, say, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. But if you got a bigger R to R, you can, like I said, you don't have to win every trade. To me, I don't there's no such thing as winning every trade. To me, I think that's just part of trading, is just taking losses. It doesn't bother me to take small losses. Like, I was red today. I think I was $120 in the red on like 3 funded accounts, and green and other. But lately, what I've been doing is just trying to take one trade with my funded accounts, and either it's a winner or a loser. If it's a loser, we just live with the red and come back the next day. And hopefully we can get some green over the next couple days before we take our next loss. So even with these accounts, like, I was break even on Monday. I was red like 50, $60 on Tuesday. And Wednesday we had a good trading session. We got a really big win last night on these accounts. We were, I think, up $180 last night on these accounts, and tonight we're probably going to be $70 up on one, and we're going to see if we can find another trade before we get off the stream for the account that we're trading now. Maybe that 75 will hold up. If you're are you still holding your long candle from that 87? The good old 90 just didn't let us down, did it? Yeah, this is why I usually tell everyone that between 90 and 110 are the hardest parts to trade whenever you're trading. So my rule of thumb is I never take a long going into the 90 if you're within a few points away. I never take a long going into the 700s. The only way that I would take a short off the 700s, or I would take a short off the 90s, I would take a short off the 110s. And it depends on what direction if you're leading into it. Now, if you're going into it like from the top side into the downside, you can look for longs. But if you're going up into it, always consider short. Did my mic cut off? Uh-oh. For some reason my mic went dead, guys. Don't know what happened. Oh, did it come back? Okay, it's back now. So far, that's looking pretty good. It's only a 20% pullback, so. Oh, it was buffing a few times. I didn't know why they would be doing that this late at night. I don't even know why I would be buffing, because I have a... See, I know this is not working right because I can't hear myself here. Let's see. Or maybe I closed it down. All right, we're just trying to make sure my mic's working. Okay. It's fine on TikTok? Okay. Yeah, I feel like it went out on YouTube or something. Like I said, sometimes I think it's because I have so much stuff open. No, it was something because a lot of times I'll have my cell phone like low volume in the background where I can kind of hear myself talk, and that way if I can tell if something happens or if something's going on with the microphone or something. Looking pretty good, pretty good. Two little candle pullback above the 20. I'm going to wait and see if we get back above the 700s. Boy, there's a lot of resistance. Man, we could almost feel like I can get a 700 bounce here. You had regular issues on there. I don't really have any points. I may consider taking a short off the 700 levels here for a few points. And we'll just keep a tight stop loss on it. Let's see. We'll see what happens at the whole number here. Fish lips, are you going to take the short at the 700s and look for a 25 pullback to the 75? Or are you going to wait and see if you push above 700s first? Oh, you took the okay. So you took the long at 675 on that pullback. Okay. It could take 2 hours to hit the 700. It's possible. All right, we're back in that 90 drama. What's up, Manjor? How are you doing? All right, let's see if we get the 90 drama here and see if we can. We're going to try a short off the 700. But we're going to wait and see what kind of reaction we get off the 700. Then whatever that wick is, if it does break 700s, unless it just pushes up there and it cannot wick above it, we're looking for a wick kind of through it. And this way we know there's support. So you can see that the only thing is we're just not sure what's going to happen. You got to think there was a lot of wick action already hitting it over here. And that 700's also the top of that PM New York high. Yeah, so ideal would be like if you kind of wick through, hit these wicks right here. Then you have the, 10-point pullback or something. We're just going to be looking for 10 points. And now, unless it does blast the 700 and we find support above 700s, we definitely will look for longs. And then we'll just hold the trade. We'll look for like a quick 10 points, 15 points, and then try to put our entries where we can hold it for like 40 or 50 points into the night. Now, that's only if it wicks through the 700s. Because most of the time you'll get some reaction off of like the 90, the 70, or the whole number here, and also the 310s. I also don't put resting orders, Danny. So a lot of times what I do is I come in behind it like this and wait for it to go through it. And if it doesn't do what I want it to do, I just won't drop my order. I'll just drag it back away. In this way, it kind of just keeps me out of like crappy positions doing it this way. Because you never know if it's going to go through it or find support. But most whole numbers, you'll want to hit let's say the 700, then have a pullback into the 70s. Or if it doesn't hold, it'll probably push up into the 20s, then push back into the 700s. But most of the time, from watching these levels so many times, you always get some kind of pullback off the 90, which we did get that pullback. We got, 15 points. The next one's going to be the 700. A lot of times you'll get like a quick little 10-point, 15-point pullback off the 700. And then if it pushes through the 700s, the 710 most of the time will push back into the 95s to 90s. So that's why I always said the 90 to the 10 level are usually the hardest levels to trade. That's why I will never take trades going into those levels. What's up, man? How are you doing? These are quant-hour charts, and we're trading micros. Where did I get to? About the 95. Look at it. We've got some more 90 drama going on. I haven't looked up I can't think of right offhand what Lucive's rules are. I need to make something with those guys because I recently had just started like using their affiliate stuff, and I haven't really gone over their rules. Most of the people's rules that I know now is just like Apex, Bulinox, Take Profit Trader, and Padeus. Their rules are pretty much similar to Apex rules, except for like a few things. I don't think the 30% drawdown, and you can take out bigger buffers from withdrawals. But I'll try to get that in the next few days. So a lot of times what I do is I just try to make like non-face videos where it's just kind of like where it kind of prints all the rules out for you in a little short form video, and all you have to do is just pause the video and just read what the rules are. I feel like Lucive is, I can't think if it's Lucive or one of those are similar to Take Profit Trader, but I can't think of which one it is. No, I think that's Trade Day. Trade Day, Take Profit Trader are the same. I want to say I feel like the alpha trades and all those, I think they're similar to like Top Step rules. And I don't even know of all of Top Step. I mean, I haven't looked at a Top Step trade in a couple years. Had a little head and shoulder pattern. Shoulder, head, shoulder, dump. Uh, 25Ks, that would be what? 30. I think 450 is the most that you can make per day on 25K. I think it's 30%. So I can look at it real quick. So 1500. Yeah, 450. Then for 50K. Oh, I got to watch that because I do not want to get tagged in here. So times 30%. Looks like 900 for the 50K. No, I'm not looking for a sell unless we push up there and hit the 700s. So, like I said, I need to see it hit the 700s and kind of wick through. And like I said, we're only going to be looking for possible 10 points. Now, I don't usually ever take those type of trades on funded, so I just take it on evals only. Well, did you get out of your position, candle dealer, or are you still long from that 87? You said you just caught the gold sell and you're new to this, and the consistency rule is being a pain. I think if you want to get away from the consistency rule, you would have to go to like Top Step or Trade Day or something like that. Because I think with them, you can make as much as like, I want to say $5,000 a day on their accounts. Yeah, man. If that's Apex, they're pretty strict with that 30% consistency. That's nah, we can't see your charts. Are my charts still up? Yeah, like I said, moving forward, always be careful trading in the 90 to the 100 level. Most of the time, I just stay away from those levels altogether. I don't really have a favorite. I just try to stay. I just try to stay with a lot of the bigger the companies that have been around. And the only reason why I do that is because I got burned last year with the fast track. So like they didn't give me my payout. They didn't give me my affiliates that I had with them. So, and I think I had like I had like 2 accounts passed, and like I said, they just kind of rug pulled everybody last year. So then I just told myself I would only ever use like the more popular that, that's been around a while and been kind of consistent. Even though a few of them have changed their rules to where it makes it tough. See, I'm not a big fan of that 30% thing that you're talking about too. Oh goodness. Nope, can't see the chat there. Yeah, back to that 30% thing. That the last payout that I had got to, I got denied because of that 30%. The good old 30% rule. It's the 30% drawdown is what I'm talking about, not the 30% making money, or if you let your account go to 30% and drawdown. I want to say Bulanox probably has like the less rules. They don't really have a whole lot of rules. The only rules that they expect you to kind of keep to is the consistency rule. And theirs is 40%. Oh man. My phone's singing some lullabies. Wow, are we going to top off at the 90s here? In hindsight, this was a nice head and shoulder pattern that we missed from earlier. For anybody that likes to trade patterns. Like that would be your little shoulder there. Then your head. Whenever you hear people bring up head and shoulder patterns, I don't ever look for them. It's just this one's so obvious that it's hard not to see. Yeah. Oh, you got denied because of the 20% consistency rule on Tradeify. I've never used Tradeify to trade. See, I didn't even know what their consistency rule is. It seems like a lot of people use Tradeify, but I've never used them. They seem to be a fairly popular way. There's a lot of people who use Tradeify. Yeah, 20% seems tough. Only make 20% of the count, because especially if it's a big account. So what is that? If you got to make what, 3,000 or something like that, 2,000, 2,500. So if you had to make at least 2,500, or let's just say 3,000 times 20%. Well, I guess that's $600 per day. Uh-oh. Yeah, so that'd be what you would have to almost get like 5 winning trades. I guess if you're trading minis, that'd be like 5 30-point trades, depending on how heavy you're going in on your accounts. I don't ever make that much on my accounts at one time because I don't ever go in heavy. So the consistency rule really hasn't really, I guess, affected me too much lately. It's never been the consistency rule with Apex. It's always been that consistency rule of the drawdown that I'm not a fan of. So like if you let your account go into, say, drawdown, like if you get in a bad trade, you let it go down 30%, but it goes back and makes $400, your next payout will be denied because you broke the consistency rule. Because for anybody that follows 0-Day J, he gets denied from that a lot, that I've heard him talk about, because he does a lot of like heavy trading, and he'll let his counts go almost till they're about to blow up, but they'll go back into passing, but he'll get denied sometimes because of how much drawdown he took. That's the one rule that I'm not a fan of. Because there is those times where you do get caught in trades, and even though you can work yourself out of it, but it's just those once trades every now and then that you just get stuck in. Or like the other day when we had that 95-point boner candle to the downside. I mean, I can't imagine how many people got their accounts wrecked that day. They even had quite a few of those in the London session last night. I thought was kind of weird too. If you go last night and look at the London session, let's see, where would that be? Okay, here it is. So this was at 1 o'clock this morning or 2 o'clock. Look, they also had a freaking 100-point boner candle. Isn't that weird? I thought it was. And that we had one too in our market. I forgot where it's at, but I know we had one either yesterday or the day before. We had that like 100-point candle. Oh, it's right here. So it was this candle right here that probably would have wrecked some folks. I know there's a guy in the lobby the other night. He said he lost like $1,200 on it because he was in a long. And as you can see, I mean, I can see the market going up, but for some reason, I guess China released saying that they're not going to use NVIDIA numbers or NVIDIA chips, and the market dumped 100 points. What is this? Oh, nice. I gotta get my chats back up real quick. Yeah, it's been some pretty wild candlestick patterns the last few days with the whatever news is coming out. I feel like tomorrow is tomorrow non-farm payroll. I feel like that there can be some really crazy volatility in the morning. Let me see. Let me find that out real quick. I feel like it is. I'm so far away from the keyboard. Sorry about the screen being super bright. Initial job claims. I don't see non-farm payroll in here. Or is that from today? That was today, so tomorrow. Sorry. Unemployment. Hourly range. Oh, there it is. Yep. The non-farm payroll. For anybody that looks like wants to gamble some evals and full port. If you don't feel like trading your evals and you want to go straight to funded. I only recommend doing that on cheap funded accounts. I would never recommend doing that on expensive accounts. May have to come trade a little earlier tomorrow. I like watching the crazy market when it's like moving up like 200 points. And usually non-farm payroll will give you 150 points. Oh, you do that on your Apex and just be done with the evals? Yeah. I think the last time that I've done that it's been a while. It was with Nvidia numbers. Nvidia and numbers are also a good one too if you just want to be done with evals. Just go long and short. Woo, we don't hit that super slow time of the market, guys. We're just kind of creeping. I'm probably only going to be on here for a little bit longer. Let's see here. No, we're not trading silver over here, Timothy. We're just trading the MNQ. I don't know if I have a account big enough to trade the trade silver because I don't think my charts will let me trade micros. I think you have to trade like a mini or something. And there's just no way my accounts can handle a mini in silver at $50 for the price action that thing's been doing lately. Excuse me, I don't mean to quit yawning. Goodness, I cannot stop yawning, guys. And we may just be stuck in this range for the next couple of hours, like leading into the one one micro is like 1 minute because it's so wild over there. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about the silver Timothy, but I've never dipped my toe in the silver. So I've only ever heard people talk about it, how it's like super wild. It'd be so easy to blow up your account with the silver. Kind of like trading gold, where gold's like 100 point a mini. There's just no way. So, just, uh, man, I almost feel like we could possibly just be going back down. I want to find a position that I can jump in and just let it run the whole night. It's respecting pivots a lot. See, man, I don't even have. Oh, you're saying silver and stuff is respecting a lot of pivots? Okay. Like, dude, I've never, like I said, I've never even messed with the silver or gold. I think I dabbled a little bit on gold, and it was just a sim account. Ooh, super tight wedge. It's like, who's going to win? He's like, I hate gold. Ross, I'm not trading anything at the moment. We are on the NASDAQ, but we're on the micro version. So if you're kind of new to trading, I'm not sure. Yeah, we did have a head and shoulders earlier. I thought this was the head and shoulders here, then this was the dump. Or is this a reversal head and shoulders? So if this was the shoulder, shoulder, head, is this going to be the shoulder, shoulder, head reversal? I don't ever pay attention to the head and shoulders. For some reason, it was very obvious tonight just because it was there, but I didn't notice it as it was happening. So does this mean that this next one, goodness, I'm going to have to get off in a minute. The next one's just going to go straight up since this is a upside down head and shoulders? The trend is bearish. Like I said, guys, thank you guys for the likes and follows tonight. Hopefully you were at least able to find like a small winner. We had a nice winner our very first trade. We did take like a little 10-point loser there. So we did lose about 30 something dollars of our profit, unfortunately, because I entered on the wrong account. So we were hoping to at least get one more entry on this other account because we haven't taken any trades on it this evening. Let's see, pull that one over. Yeah, this one we haven't taken anything yet, so we're still at 0, 0, 0. You don't look at the 1 minute. Yeah, I haven't used 1 minute charts in forever. Usually, mostly my trades are taken off the 5 minute charts. I used to trade the 1 minute, but ever since I started using the 5 minutes, I used to like the 2 minute a lot too. I think the 2 minutes are some nice charts, but lately I've been using the 5 minutes because it helps me be so much more patient. So, and I don't find myself taking a lot of like fake breakout trades because I used to trade a lot of like breakout trades and I would get caught in a lot of bad trades doing that. Most of the time, unless I'm trading an eval, like with funded accounts, usually it's just like one trade a day, two max. Yeah, the eyes are burning. Whew. I remember when I first started doing streaming, I used to work overnights quite a bit. And man, I'd be like falling asleep here in the New York session. Be like nodded off. About 2 years, and I did it part time for a little while because I was still working my main like job. I did a bunch of like just income job moving around a few years ago where I'm able to do this and plus work on the side and plus collect money from like affiliates, collect money from my job, collect money from our rental property. And like I said, my wife also has a salon too. So we just have just multiple streams of income. This way, you don't really, trading definitely doesn't pay any of my bills. Like I don't depend on nothing with trading to pay my bills. I think that just puts too much stress on you. I mean, it would be nice down the road. I know most people usually have to put a few years into they before they really get to that point where like they're consistently profitable. And I think that's why a lot of times so many people usually quit trading just because it does take a long time. And everybody will go through that phase where they want to quit because they'll just have just crappy trading phases. I know I've had my fair share. No, I'm not a full time trader. Most of the times I'll do it for like 1 or 2 hours in the morning. Then most of the I'll usually have to kind of go to work, kind of middle day, and then like at the work. I've recently just started doing this after work because it's really hard to build a YouTube channel slash any kind of streaming services because this I want to say this particular the trading is really saturated during the morning time, so it's really hard to build channels to build YouTube channels in the morning shift. So this is why I'm here at nighttime doing it. This is probably the first week that I've done it every night since I've started. The only night I didn't do it was Sunday. And that's only because we had to go to like a little birthday party. Yeah, I don't blame you guys. It's probably going to be about time to just put the charts away, man. We've just the stock market or the Asia market just is on standstill. Don't want to get trapped in a slow grinding trade. We'll probably come back a little earlier in the morning, like 7 or 8, about 8 o'clock, and just be on for non-farm payroll. You're looking for a buy, Nipper. Sorry if I said your name wrong there. I was kind of hoping that we'd get like a nice bounce off of the whole number. So that's kind of what I was waiting on. So I was hoping that we would push up here to the 700s and look for like a 10-point reversal off of those level, like just a quick 10 points. But unfortunately, it could do this all the way up to a London session. No, we're not full time now. Like I said, we just do it. Like I said, usually we start streaming in the morning and trading around 9 o'clock, and do it trade until, or watch charts until what, 10:30 at the latest. Then take a break. Then come back in the evenings at the Tokyo opening. And like I said, I had recently just started doing Tokyo this week. I've done it here and there like last month, but not consistently. This is probably the first time I've done it consistently, like for a whole week. You know what's? You me tell you what my favorite night to trade in the Tokyo session, or the open of the Asia market, is the opening from Sunday. If you go back and look, if we ever open with a gap, we never we continue straight up almost every time. For the last 2 weeks, we have opened it up with a gap to the downside, and we have gone straight up the whole night. I want to say last Sunday we took 50 points at the opening. Like it was some really nice trading. I haven't even looked to see if we filled in that gap. I'm pretty sure we did. I feel like we filled it in Tuesday. No, we did not. There's still a little gap left behind. Interesting. So this is Sunday's market right here. Well, we may have. Let me look. I'm pretty sure. What I'll do is I'll just put a little line there. When I go back over, we'll see if it got filled in. Have we been back down to the 396s? So the last 2 weeks we have opened up with gaps, and if you want to trade Tokyo or the Asia, get on here at 5 o'clock Sunday. If you open up with any kind of little gap, just wait for it to kind of either push up, pull back, and just get long. Like we've had the same type price action for the last 2 weeks for the Sunday opening. The only way I will look for a long here, if we get above the New York PM session. I don't think I'm going to stay here long enough to get it, but if you are staying on the charts later tonight, if you're staying on into the London session, if you can get back above this PM session and find support at the 700s, you could probably make a run up to the 800s leading into the London session. So, really nice target. Oh, you've been waiting for that gap fill in too all week. Maybe we'll get it tomorrow. We'll get like a nice little 400 point sell off on a Friday. Man, that'd be nice. Yep, the opening week gap is still sitting there. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. We've already kind of been looking at charts. Even though I haven't been streaming, I've been pretty much looking at these charts probably since for the last 3.5 hours straight. My eyes are killing me staring at these screens. So we never did find that second trade for a second account. I wish the move would have waited to happen during the Tokyo session instead of the opening of the Asia market, because we were already short before the stream started. We got short at 6:30, and so we were already short 6 minutes before the market even opened. Before the Tokyo. And this is where I got short. So we had this leg here. So we pulled down, and when we pulled back and found support under 700, we got short after once we kind of broke below this little trend here. Oh shoot, I'm just looking at the freaking wrong right here. I'm sorry. I was sitting over looking at my trading view charts like you can see them. So this was our first long. I tried to get short again. This leg here, we tried to short this leg, but once this candle started pushing above the 60%, we pretty much closed it for like a $40 loss here. Because I thought this would hit the 50, then push back down to the 25. So that was kind of the idea when we took that one. So that's kind of really been the only two trades tonight. We had this one that we entered around 6:30. We took it down. It went down to 25, but like I said, we only took 30 points out of it. And this one, I forgot to change accounts, and so I was not going to hold that account. So we ended up closing it because we didn't want to risk all of our profit to, after holding it for all that time, to lose it on this leg back up. No, I don't think I'm there to that point in my life where I need an editor. I don't think I hardly ever edit my videos. I know that's probably one of the downfall to my videos. They're not the greatest videos. Thank you for hanging out, Fish Lips. I guess we'll see you or talk to you tomorrow if you are trading. So we may even be back before the market opens and watch the non-farm payroll numbers. But thank you for the offer, YFXE. What sucks is we've missed our open trades for the last couple days. Tomorrow I got to make sure I do not miss that. I'm just going to have to stick it on. I was being overly cautious because it was my funded accounts, but tomorrow that's not going to be the case. All right, guys, everyone have a good one.